system.
What the hell's going on here? Are you guys crying? What the hell's wrong with you? What's going on here?
The Miz is WWE champion.
WWE champion, man. It's horrible.
Well, the Miz is WWE champion?
I thought you were going to be good.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's awful. I can't believe the Miz is WWE champion. No, that's not right. No, that's not right. That's
awful.
That's too bad. Too bad. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the next edition of the Losers Lounge podcast. I am Christian freaking Maracle. First off, this is the double R, Ryster Ryan.
What is up, everybody?
Welcome back.
It's good to be back after I think I missed 2 episodes. And it's a pretty crazy month in Texas, but I'm doing a lot better. Texas hopefully looks a little bit better, but yeah, I am doing good, and I hope you guys are doing well. And here to talk about Elimination Chamber, man. What an event! It's gonna be awesome. Christian, Willie, it's good to be here. So hope you guys are doing good as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, of course, we have the heelest of Balors.
Good production. Thank you. It is your undisputed prince of the YWC. Heel Balor back with another one, hanging out with my crew, the Losers Lounge, obviously, to talk about Elimination Chamber. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
I enjoy it very much. Here's what I would say.
Yeah.
I'm Christian Maracle.
It was nice.
He's like, I'm Christian Maracle. This is Ryster Ryan. This is Heel Balor. And The Miz is WWE Champion!
Get used to it. There's nothing you people can do about it.
I absolutely loved seeing the results of it, but I know as much as we want to talk about this so much, we gotta wait till the end.
Come on now.
It's okay. We can wait. Besides, you guys already know that's the main thing we're going to talk about at the end of this all. But aside from that, it was honestly a fantastic show.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, it was short, but, it was sweet. It was sweet.
Yep.
Yeah.
NXT TakeOver is longer than that.
Yeah. Like, the thing with the short pay-per-views nowadays, I enjoy them. I really do enjoy them.
Yeah, I remember I was looking at the clock, and it was on Eastern Time, started at 7 Eastern Time. When it got to the main event, it was only 8:30. I'm like, holy shit, it's only been an hour and a half. We're on the main event?
Yeah. I was like, wow. But honestly, I kind of like that. I like it when it kind of ends early. And I'm like, okay, still got some stuff to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I must admit, things are a little crazy here, but a lot has happened in those 2.5 hours that the pay-per-view took place. It just goes to show that a lot can happen in a short period of time.
That is very true.
We had 2 Elimination Chamber matches, 3 championship matches in between, 2 really short matches that took place. Both world titles were contested in really short matches. That's kind of crazy to think about. But we'll get to that in a moment. But before we get to any of that, we normally don't talk about the pre-show, but something, of course, that affected the main show took place. As we all know, last week, folks, Keith Lee was supposed to be in the United States Championship match that we discussed last week, but unfortunately, due to an injury, apparently, that did not happen. So I hope that Keith Lee's doing all right. In the meantime, a fatal 4-way match took place between Elias, John Morrison, Mustafa Ali, and Ricochet on the pre-show, where the winner gets to replace Keith Lee in the triple threat later on. The winner of that match was John Morrison. Thanks, of course. Here's the thing. The funny thing is, Retribution tried to help, and all it did was give Morrison the win.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, what is it? What's the deal with retribution anymore, guys?
Yeah, like, do they even have like a direction anymore? I know they were targeting Kofi for the longest time, but
exactly.
I don't know what the hell's going on, but wow. You know what? It's all good. John Morrison took the spot of Keith Lee. I'm thinking, imagine if The Miz had won the WWE title. Imagine if Morrison won the U.S. title as well. How would Miz TV look then?
That'd be really cool.
I wouldn't have minded.
It would be the first time that Miz and Morrison were singles champions at the same time. Flashback to 2009 when Morrison was Intercontinental champ, Miz was U.S. champ. They faced off at bragging rights.
Ugh, bragging rights.
And that, of course, is correct, right?
Yep. Yep.
But anyways, we're going to kick things off while talking about the first match, which was the Elimination Chamber match, where the winner gets a Universal Championship match against Roman Reigns immediately after the Chamber. Wait, even though all they simply could have done was, why don't you just add Roman to the Chamber match then? Oh, they initially did.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Roman is the head of the table. That means he somehow has power over Adam Pearce.
I find that very hilarious.
Yeah,
that Roman has this own authority about himself. He's able to put himself above the actual authority. That right there is a boss character, and you gotta give him credit. And you gotta give this company credit for how they built up Roman Reigns.
I give that credit indeed, but at the same time, it makes Adam Pearce look like a pussy, which of course he is.
It does. Like, dude, come on, put your foot down. Tell this man, no, you're putting your title on the line inside that chamber. You have no authority over me. Period. I am the real head of the table.
Yeah, I was about to say, you may be the head of the table, but I'm the head of this table.
Exactly.
I guarantee if there's anybody that would have balls to tell that to Roman Reigns, it'd be Shane McMahon.
Yep.
Shane McMahon would honestly put his foot down because he ain't afraid of shit. He faced Roman Reigns, honestly, at the Super Showdown in 2019.
Yep.
So he ain't afraid to tell him.
Nah.
Bro, Shane's done some crazy stuff, so...
Yep. Shane jumps off his shit. He does this, faces this guy, faces that guy, does this, does that. So I'm like, he would not be afraid to tell Roman Reigns to his face, I'm the head of this table. Want to kick my ass? Go ahead, do it. I can take it.
Exactly. This dude took a freaking spear at Survivor Series 2016 that knocked him unconscious. Not
to mention, see the way Roman landed on his head in that spear?
Yeah.
That hurt. I was there. It was in my Kingdom of Toronto, so I had a good view of how that happened. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, the Elimination Chamber match that took place featured Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, King Corbin, and Sami Zayn. And we have, honestly, quite a bit to talk about involving almost all the competitors because almost all the competitors really shined.
They did.
Yeah.
In their own great way. Like, I actually like how... What should they go... Well, first off, I'll say Daniel Bryan won. Congrats to him. He ends up getting squashed like a minute later. But with the Chamber match itself... What did you guys think about it? The fact that the first two to start was Cesaro and Daniel Bryan.
Just magic, professional wrestling right there. Two of the greatest in the ring. Going at it to start off, man. I was hyped as heck, man. Cesaro's been on the roll. My boy D-Brod's been on the roll. It made sense to start off with them. So I was hyped as heck.
How about you, Ryan? Did you like that idea that started off like that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Honestly, Cesaro, very underrated. And even Daniel Bryan, obviously one of the best technical wrestlers currently. That's incredible. Love that matchup.
And, the one thing that I was surprised about, the fun fact that I was surprised about, was this was Kevin Owens' first time in the Chamber.
I did not know that.
I was like, wait, what? He's been here for over 6 years, and he has not been in the Chamber? I was like, oh my God, they're right.
That's insane.
Kevin Owens is the type of guy who you think he's been in every single type of match imaginable, but in reality, he hasn't.
Exactly.
That just goes to show how much of a great performer he is. He's been in almost every type of match and done almost everything.
Yep.
At that point, I'm like, oh, shit. Did not realize that.
Exactly. That's crazy.
Which is like, putting aside the fact that King Corbin is the sexiest guy out there, putting that aside, putting aside the King gimmick and everything on the time he was general manager that one time, you gotta admit, the Elimination Chamber, he dominated.
Oh, he did.
I'm like, for once, we actually saw the lone wolf in Corbin.
I will never revert that back to that character because, man, I miss it.
He's been King of the Ring for so long, I guarantee that when they have the next King of the Ring tournament, he's going to face the winner of that tournament to defend the title or something.
Most likely. Yeah, I mean, like, gosh, that was like, what, back in August of 2019?
Yep. Oh, my God. It was
like, oh, my, geez. Like, that's, like, been almost 2 years. It's a year and a half now, but golly.
And yet,
he still has that gimmick.
And yet, Walter has been the champion for longer than that.
Yep.
Hey, did you guys know that when Walter... Here's a fun fact. When Walter was UK champion, Willie and I, we were only 22. And right now, we're currently almost 25.
Yep, we're getting old, guys.
Anyway.
Yep. 24.
Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, they did great to start things off. When King Corbin came out next, he immediately dominated Cesaro and Bryan. And even when Sami Zayn was next, he still dominated him, too. And I mean, sure, yeah, Corbin was the first guy. The King was the first guy eliminated, yes. But in his performance, I'm like, holy shit, for once, we can look at Corbin and we're like, yep, that's the one we remember from, like, 2016.
Exactly. The dominating streak that he used to have back. Of course, it wasn't too dominating, but he had that good streak going back in 2019 and all that. Even before that, with the Lone Wolf, as you said, I felt that with this Corbin inside the ring. And I was very, you got my attention. You really did.
Like, here's the thing. If one day I'm sure he'll drop the King gimmick and he'll go back to just being Baron Corbin. But what would you guys think if you suddenly heard the motorcycle noise?
I would not mind it.
Although, I like his theme. I like his theme song, though. I Bring the Darkness and everything. Yeah, he had that theme even when he was Lone Wolf. I'm like, it fit him.
Yeah.
However, the one thing I love was that female referee, Jessica Carr, who absolutely just got rid of Sami Zayn's documentary crew.
That was, oh my gosh, that was so funny.
For once, I'm thinking to myself, whatever's going on with this documentary crew, can we please see an actual documentary? Like, the results of it. Like, can we actually see footage from it? That'd be cool. I mean, we would probably see that again.
Could you imagine?
There's a lot of conspiracies against him. I'm surprised Sami Zayn hasn't gone to R-Truth from 10 years ago. Then again, that guy doesn't even know how to spell conspiracy.
True.
But not just... And Sami Zayn in the match did great. Jey Uso also did great.
Oh, yeah.
Like, every single competitor, in my opinion, if they won the match, they would have earned it. Every one.
Yeah.
I'm like, this wasn't just like... I mean, when you first look at it on paper, it looked like as if we got some of these guys just for filler. But when they actually performed in the ring, I'm like, you know what? Maybe they could last a little longer. Maybe get an elimination or two. Even if they don't win, they're doing great.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn played his role well as the guy who thinks there's a conspiracy against him no matter what he tries. And I like how when Kevin Owens came out, Sami Zayn told him, hey, let's team up together.
And then, obviously, there was none of that.
He's like, we have history. They don't look at us as the top guys. Come on, let's do this together, like the old times. So Kevin Owens, like the old times, kicked Sami's ass.
Yep, he did.
Like, hey, you can't fault Kevin Owens for doing that. Sami Zayn told him just like the old times. So Kevin did it just like the old times.
Exactly.
And he even pinned Sami Zayn to eliminate him. I'm like, just like the old times when they Here's the thing. Sami got, like, what, one victory or something over Kevin Owens, and that's it? Yeah, the Battleground match in 2016. Other than that, Kevin always won.
Yep.
So I'm like, yep, this is like the good old times.
Yep.
And Dern said good old times. The Losers Lounge didn't exist yet.
Nope.
But thank God we're here now.
Oh, yeah.
We've been here since 2018, so this 3 years, almost 4 seasons, and we haven't looked back ever since.
Nope.
The one thing I was also impressed with was the one thing that shocked me was Kevin Owens was eliminated early.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? Like, I was shocked. I was like, why now? Like,
Yeah, I'm like, at the halfway point, Kevin Owens was. I actually like what Jey Uso did. Like, he closed the freaking cage door on his arm.
That was so freaking awesome, man.
Here's the thing: has either of you guys ever had a door accidentally slammed on your arm?
I mean, if you say that, because yesterday was that.
I don't know necessarily if shoulder would count, but yeah.
Ouch! Well, I had a freaking door slam on my finger yesterday. So
Okay, that's close enough. Okay, now just imagine like a sliding door closing in, like one of those things you see at like I don't know how to describe it, but imagine that getting slammed on your arm and you're pressed and it's being pressed against you too.
Man, that would suck.
Yep. Smart move by Jey Uso to trap Kevin Owens, hit all those super kicks, then hit a splash in the ring and eliminate him.
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments in the match was when Cesaro and Sami Zayn were scaling the cage. Cesaro knocked Sami Zayn off and then decided to do some pull-ups up there.
That was so cool.
I'm like, hey, why not? I'm up there and nobody can reach me, so why not? Yep. But in the end, the winner of the match was Daniel Bryan when he last pinned Jey Uso. So congrats to Daniel on that. Yeah. So I'm going to go through each one of y'all. Ryan, what was your favorite moments throughout the Chamber match?
Oh, man. There was quite a few. Of course, Jey Uso. Let me just say he's been an incredible singles competitor. He's just been flat out amazing. And Cesaro definitely. I think Cesaro was probably the most impressive, and Cesaro was my pick to win. I was really kind of hoping, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But I got to give him credit. He did put on a good performance, and Kevin Owens. I mean, oh my gosh, Cannonball Wrecking Crew right there. And of course, Daniel Bryan, just amazing. All around, I thought it was really good. And definitely, I gotta say, it was a very good match. So, but I was really hoping for Cesaro to win, but that's okay. Daniel Bryan, I think, was a pretty neat choice, and we'll get to his match with Roman in a second. But for what it was, I thought it was really good. I got to say, hats off, and I expected it to be the first match just because obviously the winner gets a shot at Roman Reigns' Universal title, so it really made sense. But for an opening match to kick off Elimination Chamber, that Chamber match was fantastic. So I give it props.
Yes, indeed. That was a really good description. A really good
review
from the Ryster Ryan. And this is why...
Sorry, guys. My voice is kind of a little iffy, so sorry.
Your voice is fine, actually.
I was good.
Yeah, like, what, been dealing with, like, another illness or something?
Yeah, from the weather. It's just
a minor cold.
In February, it's just crazy. My allergies get bad, so
yeah.
Sorry about that.
You sounded great even despite that, actually.
Oh, thank you. I try.
This is why it's great that the Losers Lounge is full of great people like Willie, like Ryan, like myself, and even Connor and Kelsey. Shout out to them both.
We love you guys.
Love you.
I think the best thing about us is we each take our turn to talk, and whenever we're done talking, the rest of us feel great.
Exactly.
So
that's the great thing about wrestling.
Without a doubt, actually, yeah. And let's actually keep this streak going. I'm feeling in good moods because, Willie, it's your turn. Talk to us about your favorite moments in this chamber match.
Oh my gosh, there were so many favorite moments of mine in this match, like the closing of the door on Kevin Owens, the moon stuff on the top of the pod that Kevin Owens did. That was fantastic, man. That was great. Just there's so many things in this match that I really enjoyed. And of course, Bryan and Cesaro kicking it off, but that was the highlight for me. And man, just like Bryan winning that. First of all, Kevin Owens being eliminated early, I was like, why? Why are you eliminating this early? Like, what the heck? Like, it was just such a good match, man. Like, it was all over the place. It was great. The pull-ups from Cesaro was fantastic. Everyone did fantastic.
Sami Zayn was funny as hell throughout the whole thing.
I used to be annoyed by Sami Zayn. I understand that's the point, but he cracks me up, man. Like, I'm loving this gimmick. He's hilarious.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
It's just so.
I really think
Oh, go ahead, Christian. I'm sorry.
The one thing I like about Sami Zayn's gimmick right now is, like, it seems to me, I look back to when he first returned in 2019 and cut that hell of a promo the day after WrestleMania.
Oh my gosh.
Went from that to doing almost nothing, having that stupid feud with, actually wait, though, the Lashley feud was in 2018, but with 2019, he didn't really do much of anything until he aligned himself with Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura, became Intercontinental Champion, and then after coming back from the pandemic, he absolutely was obsessed with the Intercontinental title, made that actually a prestigious thing.
He did.
Called himself the Uncrowned Champion, won the title back, had a cool title reign. It was actually funny. When he lost it to Big E, he thought that he was, like, robbed of everything and that, there's conspiracies against him. So if you think about it, Sami Zayn, when he feels like something has run its course, he starts to evolve to do something else.
Which is really good. It's called character. Yeah. Like you said, character evolving, and that's what he's doing. Yeah, I give him credit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's really goofy, but, it's funny.
Is it goofy or is it goofy?
It's a goofy moment.
Yep, we have the goofy moment of the podcast, folks. So let's take a look here. Ryan, he's got his goofy moment. There's also the sneeze break moment of the podcast. I still have to figure out, like, I think the big moment for me is, like, just being me or something. I don't know. Gotta figure that out.
I got an idea.
What's a moment for Willie?
I got an idea.
You got, Ryan? You got
Willie? Yeah. I'm going to give you an undisputed moment. Christian, you get optimistic moment.
Oh, that's awesome. We're usually optimistic about wrestling anyway.
That's what we should do for every podcast. Have a moment.
If we can find it. Willie does at times have, we just forgot about because we haven't done this in a while, and that's Willie's rant moments.
Yes.
There's nothing really to rant about. There really isn't.
Really, technically, going into this year, we were going to change our view and everything. We're going to be a little bit more positive.
We are.
But if there's a reason, but if we have a reason to rant about something, then we will.
Yeah.
Exactly. But most of the time, we're just being optimistic and positive because that's how we are.
How interesting is it that we haven't really ranted about anything in the pandemic era involving WWE, but when we talked about the other company before we stopped talking about the other company, we had a shitload of rant moments.
I still remember.
Maybe that's why they don't take criticism that much, because apparently we ranted a little too hard.
I still remember there were some pay-per-views, man, like, and Willie was just like, I'm going off. I'm ready to go off.
Most notably, 2018 Crown Jewel.
Yep. It really was another one, Money in the Bank 2019.
Yeah, to do with Brock Lesnar winning the briefcase.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
I remember that I tweeted out on Twitter just a picture of Brock Lesnar with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and it was obviously photoshopped and all that. And like later the night, Lesnar shows up. I'm like, oh my god, what have I done?
Yeah.
So I was like, no way.
So, anyways, Willie, back to what, of course, you have said before. What's your thoughts on Daniel Bryan winning the match?
Like I said, man, it was just a fantastic match. Everything went very smoothly. Bryan winning, I was a little bit shocked, but once Kevin Owens got eliminated, I was like, okay, give it to my boy D. Bryan. He won, And it's a very good combination about what him and Jey Uso did at the very end. Just so many back and forth. I actually thought Jey was going to win the match. I'm not going to lie. But in the end, Bryan won. I was very happy. And then Roman's music hit. I'm like, well, he did say after the match. So here comes Roman.
Yeah, I'm just want to say as well, like, people have been lobbying for Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan, like specifically WrestleMania. And I honestly tried my best, looked over it and over and over and over. And I'm like, I don't understand why people wouldn't want to see that. I don't get it anymore. Like, as much as Daniel Bryan's a great competitor and people know his full-time career isn't going to last that much longer, I'm like, okay, I get that. But why does he need a remake of a Daniel Bryan yes tale, as I tweeted it? I tweeted it as a Daniel Bryan yes tale. I'm like, we've seen so many installments of that and so many remakes of that.
I think it's because there's a storyline underdog, and the guy's obviously about to call it a career for a while since the father, and he's married, obviously, thing of his career. So I think that's probably why people, and myself, obviously want to see Bryan and Roman. I wouldn't say probably at WrestleMania. I mean, that was one thing I pitched, but maybe we can call it a SummerSlam or something like that. But there's always in the cards on WrestleMania because Roman already has an opponent, but we'll talk about that when we talk. That's when we're going to talk about this.
Yeah, of course, that is the case.
Yeah.
But, Roman Reigns took on Daniel Bryan literally after the match took place. So Daniel was, exhausted. He started off the chamber match.
He did.
And he lasted, a minute or something against Reigns. Although when the match started, he managed to lock in the yes lock. But I'm like, I ain't fooled by this. I was like, no way, I'm not fooled by this.
I marked that, I'm not gonna lie. I knew he was gonna win, but once he locked on the outside, I'm like, tap out, Roman.
Yeah.
Oh man. That didn't happen, obviously. Oh, it did.
Yeah, that was just wild.
Yeah, it's not gonna be the case. I'm like, Reigns ain't losing that title to somebody who just went through that chamber match like that. I'm like, there was no way they would have Reigns tap out to Daniel Bryan like that. Honestly, Roman Reigns has never tapped out in his career.
Has he?
Nope. Not even in the Shield.
Wow. Oh, wow. Add that to your resume, Roman.
Yeah, Reigns has never submitted. So I'm like, that ain't happening.
Exactly.
So, of course, Reigns won, of course, locking in the guillotine. I'm like, the moment he locked that in, I was like, it's over. Boom.
Yeah, I knew Reigns to
if I'll be perfectly honest, the one thing that sucks about this is it kind of made the Elimination Chamber match a little pointless because the winner usually either wins the title or faces the champion at WrestleMania. In this case, the moment the bell rung when Daniel Bryan was knocked out, I'm like, well, there went all that for nothing.
Yeah, it was a little bit as you said right there. It made sense, I guess. I'm not complaining about it, but it was more like, what was the point of the chamber? I thought it was going to be held it was going to be held later in the night. I was like, okay, have Bryan rest and all that.
And Reigns
later in the night.
Reigns is scheduled to face Edge now at WrestleMania. That's all because after the match ended, Edge speared Roman out of nowhere.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew it was coming out.
Technically, really, they kind of gave it away on SmackDown.
Yeah, when Reigns speared him.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, okay, yeah, we all know at this point that Edge is going to face Roman Reigns. So basically, that's what kind of made the chamber match a little disappointing. Of course, we already knew that whoever won the chamber was obviously going to lose to Reigns. There's obviously was no way Reigns was going to lose, but yeah, I mean, I kind of hate when they do that because it's just, it makes that whole match kind of pointless. At least make the guy look strong first before,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is what it is, I guess.
So yeah, Reigns got speared by Edge. Edge basically pointed at the WrestleMania sign, which declared he has chosen Roman Reigns as his opponent for WrestleMania, which I always said was the right way to go, honestly.
I'm excited.
We all knew that if Edge took on Drew McIntyre, there's no story behind that.
Exactly.
You can't have top good guy versus another good guy here. Plus, no offense to Finn Balor, but the NXT Championship, that's that's a downgrade.
It really is.
Not to mention, there's no way that Edge should be facing Finn Balor. Finn Balor's got his hands full with the likes of Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Karrion Kross, and Pete Dunne.
Watch your back, Balor.
Yeah,
Please
I'm
watch
like,
your back.
yeah, Finn Balor, he's got his hands full. I'm like, he's good to go. Drew McIntyre, he's got his hands full with, well, a lot of people now after the results, even after, it wasn't until after Edge made his choice, but McIntyre's got a crap load of people all over him now.
Yep.
And Edge was literally confronted and even assaulted by Roman Reigns, so boom, makes sense. Plus, if you think about it, Reigns is the top bad guy in WWE today. So
exactly.
The fact that,
in my opinion.
Yeah, so the fact that Edge shows him, it's like Edge's main goal is to get back on top for the first time since his retirement, and we need somebody who's going to do everything in his power to stop him. In my opinion, that's poetry.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really good storytelling.
Really is.
That's why I can't wait to see their back and forth promos.
It's gonna be great, man. Like, it's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, Reigns, he cuts his own promo.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, Reigns cuts his own promos.
It's like Battle of the Spears, pretty much.
Yeah, think about this. Reigns cuts his own promos. Edge cuts his own promos too. So put them together. Look what you got.
It makes sense.
When people said Reigns couldn't cut a promo.
I was back. Goody two shoes baby face, which in my opinion was just completely just succotash and all that. But this Roman, like, it's so funny now because like people are like, hey, turn to me. I'm like, they turned to me, and I'm starting to see some backlash. I'm like, isn't this what you wanted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy, but it's awesome and it's well done. And I'm looking forward to seeing Reigns versus Edge. Like, I don't know because since Roman is scheduled now, I don't think he's going to honestly defend the title at Fastlane next month.
Nah, he's really gonna say like, nope, I got my opponent at WrestleMania, I'm sitting this out.
Oh yeah, in my opinion, honestly, like using Fastlane is booked 2.5 weeks prior to WrestleMania. I'm like, they should have put it back a couple weeks maybe. But then, of course, if they did that and did it on March 7th, then people would be like, that's the same day AEW has their pay-per-view. I'm like, yeah, so what?
Oh, boo-hoo. Ooh, freaking who.
Yeah, Fastlane is back, folks. It's going to be set for March 21st. So after this podcast, you'll see us again in about 3 weeks, where we will discuss and predict the events of Fastlane. Although it's quite possible that Ryan and Willie might be the only ones there because I will be on recovery from my jaw surgery. So, we'll see how things go. Not really much else to talk about for the Universal title situation, but we're going to move on to the next match, and that was the triple threat for the United States Championship as Bobby Lashley defended against Riddle and now the replacement of Keith Lee, John Morrison. The match wasn't that long,
yes.
And it was okay. I simply called it an okay match because it really didn't do much at all.
Not really.
However, we have a new United States champion in the form of Riddle, and they actually used a lot of really good ways to do it. MVP was out there with a crutch because he was hurt. Riddle used that crutch against Lashley and then hit the bro whatever the fuck it's called on John Morrison.
Bro Derek.
Bro what?
Bro Derek.
Oh, yeah, it's that goofy name, Bro Derek, yeah.
Who's Derek?
I don't know. Like, it doesn't
Good question.
Yeah, now that I think about it, it's like he calls it the Bro Derek. I'm like, okay, is that one of his kids' names, or is that his close friend of his father? What does that mean?
It doesn't make any sense. Like, I've been wondering that too. Like, who's Derek? Is there a Derek in wrestling? Derek Bateman?
Derek Bateman.
Oh, freaking
EC3, something like that. I don't
know. Yeah. Exactly.
EC who now?
Exactly. Well, hey, don't say that. He's still around.
He's
in the irrelevant company.
EC1 and 2? Where's EC1 and 2?
Good question.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, Riddle won the United States Championship, won his first singles title in WWE, and that includes NXT.
Correct.
Yep. He was only a tag team champion in NXT with Pete Dunne, the Broserweights. And
Who remembers them?
And now, Riddle is the new United States champion. They were like, okay, it took him literally all the title matches, but he got the job done.
Exactly.
That's a funny way of putting it.
Yeah.
If Keith Lee was involved in the mix, I don't think Riddle would have won.
I don't think so. I think it was probably supposed to go to Keith Lee. Maybe. I don't know. They're probably holding off his win for WrestleMania.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah, wasn't Keith Lee out with a legitimate injury, though?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard, I don't exactly remember what kind of injury he had. But yeah, I know, like, because before I was hearing COVID, but now it's like
that's what I thought
injury.
too. Yeah. I think it's a bicep. No, not a bicep. It's something to do with like his bicep or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, whatever the case is, like, it was John Morrison performed pretty good. There were moments I thought he honestly would have won the U.S. title.
Exactly.
So that was really cool. But Riddle won the title. I still don't like the guy. The only thing I like is his in-ring abilities. Aside from that, everything else I don't like him. I don't even like the way he wears the title now. It's like a one-strap bra or something.
I don't care for myself. That's just me.
Guarantee he's like one of the only guys who would wear it across his chest like a bra. That would be weird. And he'd probably unzip it like a bra or something. Just got that mental image of Riddle reaching behind him to unstrap the title and then pull it down like a bra.
Well, I mean, all you have to do is basically just pull the title above him and just take it off like that. I'm going to unstrap the belt.
Oh, God. That was the weirdest thing I ever came up with.
Man, that's funny.
I never understand why wrestlers use their titles like that. Of course, Roman used to carry the title over his shoulder and all that. I know The Rock, the Rock shtick and what he does. Stone Cold, all those guys. But with Matt Riddle, it's like, I don't know if it's just weird. Like, I've never seen, maybe I'm wrong. I've never seen a wrestler wear their title like that before. Maybe it's just me. Bailey.
Well, even before Bailey.
Yeah, before Bailey.
2000.
Exactly.
Yeah, 2009, Primo Colón. Primo Colón, when he was champions with Carlito, the Unified Tag Team Champs, he wore it like a literal bra.
Oh my gosh. That's right. The Unified Tag Champs. I remember that.
Yeah.
I miss those days. I miss Carlito.
Although the fact that they had 2 tag team titles for each guy with 4 titles combined, I'm like, when they do the whole unify the titles thing, the fact that they're carrying 2 belts made me think to myself, okay, is one of them still active or is this one title? What the fuck's going on here?
That's what I thought when they unified the WWE and the World title back in 2013.
It took them up to 2014 before they finally just made the one we see today.
Exactly. Like, I was very happy to see the new WWE title. I remember being not pissed when that title came around. I was like, all they did was change. Because I hated the design The Rock brought out. I'm not going to lie. I was like, ew, what is that? That's gross. Like, that's a spinner belt. What are we talking about? We're talking about people wearing titles.
About the way people wear their titles because of Riddle wearing his U.S. title.
Yeah. I mean, Pete Dunne carries his title in his mouth.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the UK title didn't have teeth marks by the time he was done with it.
Well, he uses his mouth guard, too, so that's probably how. I've done that before, too, with my replica title. And it's not easy. It is not easy.
You need a lot of jaw strength for that.
Yeah, like, I have tons of jaw strength for that, but it's like, holding up the actual thing, those things weigh about like 40 pounds. It's crazy about how much jaw strength these guys have if you're able to hold the title in your mouth. Like, it's crazy. Freaking awesome.
Yeah. But I will say, Ryan, what is your thoughts on Riddle as the United States champion?
Bro, man.
Of course.
Honestly, I was really kind of surprised. I was shocked. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. I'm not really a huge Matt Riddle fan, just because, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, saying bro is cool and everything, but I'm just not really a huge fan of, like, Matt Riddle, or Riddle, I should say, whatever. But, I mean, I'm cool with him winning the U.S. title. Like, I will say this, like, that triple threat match was really, it played out a lot better than I thought it was going to be, and definitely I did not see Riddle winning the title, but I liked the match. I really did like it, and so we'll see how he does, how they do his run as U.S. champion. So, I mean, and I don't know, I may be wrong, but didn't Riddle have a U.S. title shot against Bobby Lashley like a week or two before
He had like 1, 2, 3, 6,000, probably Johnny Gargano amount of title matches.
Yeah, something like that. See, I was kind of really shocked. Like, I picked Bobby Lashley to retain, just because like Keith Lee wasn't in the match. I thought, if anything, Keith Lee's probably going to win, but I just thought Lashley was going to retain. But no, they give it to Riddle. So
wait, did you say Keith Lee was going to win?
Huh?
You said Keith Lee was going to win.
Because I thought Keith Lee was going to win.
But he's not in the match. Morrison was in the match.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, if Keith Lee was healthy, like,
okay.
if he was, I'm sorry.
My apologies.
Sorry. I didn't mean to confuse you, but, yeah, that's kind of why I went with Lashley retaining instead. But, I got to give credit to Morrison. I was really rooting for Morrison to win, because I love John Morrison. I think he deserves a lot better, but overall, it was a great triple threat match. So we'll kind of see what goes down with Riddle, who's going to challenge next. But, yeah, so... we'll see. Definitely a great match.
Yep. And Willie, your thoughts on Riddle as the new United States champion?
You
there? Okay.
I'm fine with it. Like I said, I'm not a big Riddle fan. Like, I like him. Don't get me wrong. I like the guy. He's great. But yeah, I got no problem with it. But it's fine, but I probably would prefer to Flash or retain. That's just me. Just for the suspense, I guess, because I did not see Riddle winning at all. But hey, I have no problem with it. I think he deserves it, in my opinion. And for those crying out there saying that, oh, he doesn't deserve it, yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. It makes sense, especially with what we saw in the ending with what happened at the end of the show. So it makes sense why he won. I mean, like Christian said, I would prefer to John Morrison. That was pretty cool, not gonna lie. But, they did what they had to do, and, I'm fine with Riddle being U.S. champ. I think it's pretty cool, and I think he deserves it. And, they were all crying. They were all crying for him to be the Intercontinental champ when he debuted. They saved it. They saved the win for later. Just happens to be a different title.
It's called build up your freaking character.
Exactly. Say it again, Christian.
It's called building up your freaking character.
Exactly. Explain to them what that means.
Oh, how it means is, once you move on to Raw or SmackDown, here's the thing. That's still another mountain you got to climb. As much as they want to try and promote it, NXT is a different mountain compared to Raw or SmackDown here. Plus, there's a lot of other people who were there before you, so they also deserve shots at titles as well. Once you get up there, you should immediately blow your load because then people will get bored of you. Kind of a mistake. One of the biggest mistakes, no offense to Willie, but one of their biggest mistakes was immediately putting a world title on Finn Balor less than a month after he came in.
Yeah, looking back on that, yeah, it really was. Pushing him and all that.
If you want him to be Universal Champ or WWE Champion at some point, great. But, immediately shoving him right to the top was a bad idea.
Same thing what they did with Karrion Kross. You really think about it. Deja vu. Literally deja vu. Except they have an NXT, and that's a different animal. So, it's just crazy.
Fact of the matter is, Riddle actually built himself up for a while on the main roster before he won a championship. Putting a title immediately on somebody when they show up all because they did good in NXT is not exactly the right thing to do here. As much as people would disagree with it, as much as people would say, I want this person immediately on the top, that ain't how it works here, man. You still gotta climb the damn mountain, and Riddle chose to climb the mountain.
Do y'all think that's obviously why, this is a question for both of you guys, you both can answer if you want to. Do y'all think that's obviously why some people turn on wrestlers because they're pushed too fast?
Yeah. Push right to the moon. Actually, they're more of given a jetpack and say, fly away.
Yeah. Like I said, I got no problem with Matt Riddle being the United States champion. And, look at his past. Look at his past. I don't care about a wrestler or anybody's celebrity's past. I don't care about that. All I care about is what I see going on in the ring, and I think he deserves it. That's just me. Keep crying or don't watch the show.
Definitely. Definitely deserve the win. Hell, and this is from me, coming from a guy, me, who absolutely dislikes Matt Riddle completely. I don't like his look. I don't like his hair. I don't like the way he talks. I don't like the fact that he wrestles barefoot. I don't like his music or his weird-ass persona, his weird, dumb-ass dance in the ring. But the one thing I do like is his in-ring abilities. I literally dislike everything else, but I like his in-ring abilities, and I say he earned the win.
As he should. Ryan, you're probably the same way, I guess.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm not really a huge Riddle fan, but I gotta say, I gotta give him credit as an in-ring performer. He's pretty good.
Yep,
he is.
Okay,
I think he deserves it.
And with that being said, folks, we're gonna move on to the next match. This, achoo! Sorry, sorry about that.
You good, Christian? Are you sick? If you're sick, we can come back to you later.
Well, I think I'm fine. It's just, the women's tag team title. Achoo! Sorry. God.
There you go, scared.
Women's
tag team. Ryan, I told you get him some medicine.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
Tell you what, Ryan, I'm pretty sure you're in a better...
I got pills somewhere. Hang on. All right, now, never mind. I just got a tissue.
All right,
will tissue work?
That's fine. I'll just take that in a moment.
Yeah.
How about while I'm using the tissue...
Okay, here you go. Here's the tissue.
Yeah, thanks. While I'm taking a tissue, how about you go ahead and tell the folks about this match? Because I'm sure you can do that.
It was our sneeze break.
Yeah, the Women's Tag Team Championship as Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defended against Bianca Belair and Sasha. Wait, what? Bianca and Sasha?
Wait. Whoa.
Christian, I told you, did they give you the right script? Oh, that's right, we don't use scripts here.
No.
Wait, did you read the wrong notes? Did you put
the sound right? It don't sound right at all.
Okay, Willie, for one thing, we didn't even talk about this match last week because it wasn't even on the fucking card. Hell, Raw Women's Title match, Asuka versus Lacey Evans. That's on our papers from last week. That is not even on this week's papers. What the fuck's going on here?
Did they... Oh, that's right. She's legitimately pregnant. Well, that's not our fault. Congratulations to her, by the way.
Congratulations, Lacey Evans, folks. Well done. But, not even a single explanation of where the fuck the match was, and then they say something about Asuka possibly facing somebody else.
That got pulled, apparently. I was like, what the heck are y'all doing? Like, did y'all not have an opponent in mind? You had, I don't know, Charlotte Flair right there in front of you, but whatever.
Yeah. Instead, we got the Women's Tag Team title match where Nia and Shayna were defended against a team that, for all intents and purposes, didn't exist when we were talking about this pay-per-view last week.
Exactly. It was just pulled together. Yeah. Like they always do.
Bianca Belair and Sasha.
Week, guys, you went back to listen to last week, and I said clearly they're going to put a match on when we get done with this recording. And they did. Happens all the time.
Yep.
It's so weird.
Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, who I think at this point it's pretty obvious they're going to be WrestleMania opponents. Congrats for that, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Pretty much they're giving it away at this point.
But
they are.
What's next? You're going to have Edge and Roman Reigns go after Rude and Ziggler now?
I'm sorry, who?
Never mind. Forget I said anything on that one. They're listening to us, so let's just move on.
Yeah.
We got to remember. Okay, yeah, Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. I don't understand. They're a team that did not even exist a week ago. They get a tag team title match when, what the fuck, what was it? Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez won a title opportunity, and didn't Naomi and Lana also do something?
Yeah. I even...
so we have two sets of teams.
Possibly even the Riot Squad.
Doesn't make any sense.
We have two sets of teams here. Two sets of teams. Both of them, both sets. One title match contenderships. But the challengers at the Chamber were two people that didn't even do anything. I was like, actually, I think I know how they did it. Let me take a look. Okay, let's see. SmackDown. There it is. Let's see. Reginald pinned Nia Jax. That's it? That's it?
That's it. That's how they get the time. I know why they're doing it. In all seriousness, I know why they're doing it. They're trying to create some friction in between them, but that really didn't even happen in the match. It didn't. There was no friction unless I'm remembering something wrong.
Yeah, I
There's
don't
no
understand
friction
this.
whatsoever during the match. Like nothing.
Can I also ask another question here?
Yeah.
What the hell was Reginald doing with them? Where was Carmella?
Backstage drinking champagne.
That's what I was wondering too. I'm like, this just doesn't even make any sense.
Confusing.
No, I don't
Is
get
Carmella
this.
in the storyline? Like, I'm getting very confused here. Like, the storyline's getting very, very confusing. So you have Reginald, you have Sasha, you have Bianca, and now you have Carmella. You know Carmella's getting involved in this because she's obviously going to be, unless they're doing something, I don't know. Like, I'm very confused. But all I know is that this match was created to create friction, which did not happen.
Not happen whatsoever. Nope.
I don't know.
Okay, so I can understand if you want to find some way to create friction with Sasha and Bianca for them to be facing off at WrestleMania, cool, that's fine. But I don't think this is a way to do it. And not to mention, of course, why do they have to go to the tag team titles when there's already two teams that are in line? For once, the women's tag team titles is getting some recognition when two different teams from two different shows from Raw and NXT actually won the right to challenge for the titles. But then they get this random ass team with Sasha and Bianca. Holy shit, we're actually renting. I like this. We get Sasha and Bianca, who had never teamed before. Yeah, they never teamed before, and yet they are getting the title shots against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. And I don't understand that because, like, I can't even explain why, because that's how bad it is.
And like, okay, here's the thing. Like, oh, sorry,
go ahead.
Ryan. And like, why do you have Shayna and Nia go to NXT and confront Raquel and Dakota, like the team that won?
They won a whole damn tournament to get there.
Yeah.
Been involved in the story. I understand they won the women's tournament. That's fantastic. You won the women's tournament. But shouldn't you technically be involved with this because you are challenging for the titles? Shouldn't you be, on the brands that they are on, like Raw and SmackDown, confronting them after the match? Or I'm not saying like every week, but I'm talking like spread it out a little bit. Like, it's a little like they've forgotten that there are two challengers, I guess, because Lana and Naomi will probably get their shot at Fastlane if the titles aren't being switched to Raquel and Dakota, which they should be. They should be. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. And where does Carmella fit in all this?
Why is Reginald hanging out? Like, here's the thing. There was a backstage interview at the Chamber prior to this match beginning, and Reginald was offering some of my finest champagne for you guys. And I'm like, there was not even a freaking mention of Carmella.
But she, like I said, she's backstage. She got on to him this past week. Where were you? Where were you? Did you not know I was watching backstage? I was watching what was happening. Then why didn't you go out there?
Yeah, I was like, the real question is, where were you?
Exactly. Where were you? You were probably in your dressing room thinking about Corey Graves for all we know.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
but
most likely.
I don't understand what she's involved in the storyline, guys. It just doesn't make any sense. You have two teams, and you have Carmella. You have Bianca Belair, and you have Sasha. There's no friction in this match. There was no friction whatsoever. Maybe I'm overthinking this. I don't know. But there was no friction at all in this. And they lost, like, literally because Reginald came out, I believe, and distracted them, I think.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Gave Sasha Banks a champagne bottle to use as a weapon. This was backfired because Sasha's like, I ain't using this as a weapon. What are you doing out here? Then, Samoa drop. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Exactly.
If there was any friction, it was Sasha and Bianca yelling at Reginald.
That's the friction? Is the friction going to happen at Fastlane? 2 weeks? I swear to God.
Oh my God, you're right. What they should have done was had Sasha lose because of Bianca. You know what I would have done? Want to know exactly what I would have done?
What you got?
Like during the tag team title match, it seems like Sasha is about to get the win. All of a sudden, Bianca grabs a microphone. Hey, Sasha! Guess what? I made my choice, and at WrestleMania, I'm coming for you. And then during the distraction, Samoa drop. 1, 2, 3.
But instead, Reginald going to play a? I swear to God, WWE, if Reginald plays a part in Bianca winning the freaking title, I don't know what they're doing.
Montez Ford would be pissed off about that.
I know he would. Like they're making the story like Sasha and Reginald have like this friendship, right? Like I guess I don't know. Like, is she? What's going on? Why is Carmella involved in this? Don't tell me in the comments below that she's not involved in this, because she is. Reginald's being used in this storyline. I like Reginald. He's fantastic. I find him hilarious. I find him freaking hilarious. Just like Bad Bunny. Shout out to Bad Bunny, by the way. Freaking dope right there. But I don't know what they're doing with the storyline. And like I said again, there was no friction in this match. All it took was Reginald to distract them by accident for them to get dropped and then to lose. Not even in the match. I thought what was going to happen in the match. I thought what was going to go down was that Sasha was going to get mad at Bianca for not getting in there and breaking up the pin. What's going on?
I don't even know. My idea definitely was a lot better.
So confusing. Yeah, Ryan, explain it. What do you think's going on?
Yeah, I don't even understand like why Bianca was in a team with Sasha, because isn't the opening lyrics to her music, I'm on my own against the world?
Yes.
I never needed you at all.
Yeah. So why is she in a tag team?
Right
now
there.
Her music makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing that I'm talking about. I don't really know how to explain it, but like it's stuff like that. I'm like, okay, you put Belair and Banks together as a tag team. Pretty much clearly, you're obviously already making it known that Bianca's going to challenge for Sasha Banks. We obviously know that.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's my whole thing. Like, you know, I don't know, because Belair and Banks, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, on SmackDown, yes, I mean, it would make sense. But like, to challenge for the women's tag titles when Bianca Belair literally won the Women's Royal Rumble match, Sasha Banks is the SmackDown Women's Champion. Like, obviously, we know they're not going to win the women's tag team titles because Bianca Belair is going to go after Sasha Banks' women's title. Like, it's obvious. Like, you could have got the Riot Squad or somebody else to fight. That's the whole thing. Like, where has the Riot Squad been? What about, like, you know, I don't know, Natalya and Tamina.
Hell,
you could have gotten them.
Hell, honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this. Hell, even the Bella Twins would make more sense.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Or even have like, I know, like, you know, kind of different.
I don't understand
like, brands or whatever, but Peyton and Billy, like
the Iconics, yeah.
Reunite the Iconics or something. I don't know.
Why not put back together Mandy and Sonya?
Yeah,
I'm actually enjoying it.
That's my whole thing. That's my whole thing. Like, it's just, it's really kind of stupid because, like, if you could put anybody else, you could have put any other women's tag team for this match, but no, you put Sasha and Bianca together for like one match. It's gonna be pointless.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Makes you wonder what the heck we're getting at Fastlane if the freaking friction's not going to happen there. If now.
Yeah, like this whole thing. And possibly, maybe, okay, I guess probably maybe, I don't know, is Raquel and Dakota, they're going to challenge at Mania or something? I don't know.
Nah, they're set to. Yeah, in a couple weeks on NXT, that's when they're getting their title match.
Oh, okay.
Same thing goes for MSK, which, by the way, folks, we still don't know what that name means.
We don't.
But they are pretty awesome, though.
Yeah, they're getting their title match on I think on the same week that Dakota and Raquel are getting theirs.
Okay, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that's my whole thing. It's just like, you know, I don't even know anymore for the women's tag titles. I don't know, but yeah.
With Bianca going to different brands, that makes you wonder, why didn't she go to NXT? Edge did the same thing. Edge went to NXT. Edge confronted the NXT champion. Why didn't Bianca go to NXT and say, you know what, Io Shirai, maybe I'll challenge you. You just went to SmackDown and Raw. Why didn't you go to NXT and say, you know what, I want your championship, Io Shirai. I want you at WrestleMania. I'm confused.
I don't think Bianca's won the
No,
NXT
she's never
Women's
been
title,
NXT
actually?
Women's Champ. Nope, she hasn't won a
Okay.
single
Nope.
title at all.
No,
That's
because that
crazy.
would make sense. Let Edge go into NXT. Edge confronted the NXT champion. Edge went to Raw, confronted the WWE champion. Edge went to SmackDown, confronted the Universal champion. And he's like, I want Roman. Why didn't you go to SmackDown? You know what? I want you, Sasha, which is what she's more getting. You go to Raw. I want you, Asuka, because let's face it, Asuka sucks as champion.
Yeah.
Not her fault, but and go to NXT. You know what? Io Shirai, I want you. Why only you have to label it to one person? Why would you label it to only one person to where she goes to just two brands? That frustrates me.
It does.
Frustrates me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just imagine, or even this. Just imagine if she shows up at NXT UK.
Well, obviously she can't because the travel restrictions. She can't exactly cross over.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I'm just giving an example. Like, that would be cool if if COVID wasn't going on.
Yeah, like it doesn't make any sense.
Now,
Like,
honestly,
I'm wondering
if COVID wasn't
happening.
If COVID wasn't going on, I bet even Edge would have confronted Walter.
Could you look, Matt?
Man, that would be crazy to see.
I'd be like, dude, I would not recommend this.
No, he doesn't do
Prepare your
super.
chest.
He just chops people's chests. So, but whatever you're doing, WWE, please. I'm not angry at it. I'm very confused as to what we're getting right now.
Yeah, I don't understand what we're getting either.
The friction. I don't know. This match is confusing. The match was just, I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't even remember that much.
Yeah,
anymore.
it's just real weird. But yeah,
I don't remember.
I mean, I get what they're trying to do. I mean, I know they got to change up storylines every now and then, but I don't know.
But there's no friction. That's my
Just
thing.
freaking announce the match already. Just say Bianca.
I can't believe I'm saying this,
You're
but-
not challenged for Sasha Banks' title. Let's get it over with.
Yeah, I can't
That's
believe I'm
right.
saying this, by the way, guys, but it's kind of feels like WWE's attention span is about the same as its universe.
Exactly. Short as a freaking goldfish at this point.
Oh boy.
Do better, man. Like they're wrong. I'm enjoying the storyline. The match is gonna be good at WrestleMania. I'm not gonna lie about that. It's gonna be great. But the fact that you don't have any and I understand, wait for the storyline, wait for all to play out, but the right place to do the friction and the breakup was right here at this show, and you didn't show it. What do you do? Do a rematch at Fastlane? I'm not even joking. They're probably gonna do that. The rematch can happen at Fastlane, and that's where the friction's gonna come down.
Yeah.
And then what's gonna happen is that we're only 2 weeks away from WrestleMania at that point, correct?
Yeah. About 2.5 weeks.
Yeah. So right now. Yeah. 2.5 weeks. Yeah. So that's where they're finally going to do a breakup there. They're going to do the rematch there. I do think that they would still be tag team champions by then, and they're going to do the breakup there. I have no idea what they're doing, but you got to do something because this is just bizarre.
I'll be honest, like when it comes to the Fastlane pay-per-view, like I'm hoping Bianca Belair makes her choice prior to Fastlane so that we can actually have Fastlane be about, the other champions who don't have challengers now. I'm like, okay, let's set up who's going to face who at WrestleMania by this means. Like, in my opinion, I think that's honestly a lot more of a better choice. You know what I mean?
I think I want to say it was back in 2018, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's where Asuka made her decision.
That was 2018.
Yeah, at Fastlane.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
She challenged Charlotte.
I was surprised, honestly, that she chose Charlotte.
Yeah.
But it was good. Anyway.
Yeah.
The backbone.
How about we talk about the main event? Something that was actually good to talk about.
Exactly.
Because,
Let's
folks,
go.
yeah, Nia and Shayna, they retained the tag titles. Who cares? Let's move on.
Exactly.
The WWE Championship was defended at the Elimination Chamber as well. And by this point, we have only been an hour and a half into the pay-per-view. And if this was WrestleMania, we would have only gone through a quarter of the matches.
Exactly.
Oh, jeez. But McIntyre defended against AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Kofi Kingston, Randy Orton, and Sheamus. Kofi Kingston, of course, was the replacement of The Miz, who backed out, and we're about to get back to The Miz in a moment. But I will say, the main event, it was really well done because a lot of surprising moments that I did not see coming happen. Like, it's still amazing. After all these years, they still managed to come up with some really good creativity inside that cage. It's like,
Fantastic.
obviously when going into it, I knew the likes of Jeff Hardy and Kofi Kingston and AJ were not going to win, obviously. But there's a lot of things that we predicted could have happened but did not. Like we said something about The Fiend showing up.
That didn't happen whatsoever. I was like, what the heck?
Randy Orton was the first one eliminated by a roll-up via Kofi Kingston.
That was crazy. Like, I didn't expect that.
Like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, that he got him? I was like, holy shit, he actually got him.
And then, like, Randy Orton RKO's him.
I really like how it started off with Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy. I'm like, yep, we remember the feud with those guys. And if you think about it, Randy Orton has had feuds with every person in that match.
He has.
Yeah, with Sheamus, with Kingston, with Hardy, with Styles and McIntyre, every one of them. Huh. So that's crazy to think that he's gone through pretty much every last one of them to be there. And when the likes of when Kofi Kingston eliminated Randy Orton out of nowhere, like actually that was more out of nowhere than an RKO.
Pretty much. Yeah.
No Fiend showed up, and Alexa Bliss made him vomit like some shit on Raw, apparently. Kind of Papa Shango style.
That was great. That was great. I had flashbacks, man. You gotta give him credit, man. This is probably the most hottest feud going on right now in the company, and I'm really enjoying it.
I mean, yeah, I get that the feud with Orton and The Fiend has gone on for a while, but they're actually doing it right.
Exactly.
I know for a fact. They're facing off at WrestleMania. That's a given now.
I think it's going to be a gimmick match.
That should be fine. Firefly Funhouse match. That'd be fine.
I feel like, yeah, I was going to say, I think possibly a Firefly Funhouse match again.
Yeah.
Is The Fiend going to murder Randy Orton like it did at John Cena last year?
Yeah. I could see it.
How great was it when
that was a good match.
How great was it when Cena got murdered? Literally.
The whole match in general was just bizarre as heck. That was the point. But oh my gosh, you gotta give them credit. Like, I was really, really invested with that match last year at WrestleMania. I think if they do with the Orton, it'll also make up for the House of Horrors match they had in 2017.
Yeah.
You can look, but you can't touch.
And of course, exactly. You know, Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, they faced off at WrestleMania in Orlando, and I was there. It was in Florida, so at another Florida WrestleMania, they could face off again.
Oh, that match.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb, aside from the cool graphics they put on the ring.
I kind of like, though, how they're at least giving Wyatt his wins from previous WrestleMania.
Yep.
Exactly.
Can we also talk about how Omos just freed AJ Styles from the outside?
Bro, that was just so crazy. I was laughing. I was like, what the heck is going on?
I mean, I just heard AJ suddenly yell out, "Get me out, get me out, get me out." And then all of a sudden, it cuts to Omos literally ripping the glass off of the pod.
I'm like, what the heck?
I'm like, if I were AJ, I wouldn't want to be released early.
Oh, this was okay. Imagine, like, of course, we had fans, right? Obviously, imagine there was fans there. Almost would have killed those fans, probably, or would have injured them if he were from the freaking plexiglass in the crowd. That would have been technically did call it the quote unquote crowd. So that was so funny how he just got AJ Styles out of the pod. That was hilarious.
And then Adam Pearce showed up and ejected Omos. I'm like, well, here's the thing: Sami Zayn's documentary crew got ejected instantly before the match could even start. Yet Omos was allowed to stay. And the difference is the documentary crew. The difference is the documentary crew was not a threat, and Omos, he definitely is a threat.
Exactly, Sami Zayn's crew, pun intended. They're just there. They're not threatening. They're funny, but they're not threatening.
Yep, Omos was ejected, but he got the job done by letting AJ into the match early. Besides, Sheamus, he was going to come out last anyway, so AJ was like, you know what, just let me in already. I'm already going to be the next one out anyway, so Sheamus was the last end of the match. Kofi Kingston was eliminated with a brogue kick. But what I also liked was when Jeff Hardy performed pretty good. He managed to hang in there for a long while. He did not eliminate. He hit the Swanton on AJ Styles, but then when he got up, Drew McIntyre hit a Claymore on him. But I just want to say, I definitely want to see Sheamus and Drew McIntyre one-on-one. That honestly should have been the WrestleMania match.
Exactly.
After seeing them go at it one-on-one inside the chamber, I'm like, yes, WrestleMania, yes.
Been great.
They're about the same size. They're evenly matched, and they know each other very well, so they know what each one is going to do next. So I'm like, that's how you do it.
Exactly. You gotta give them credit, man. Like,
and in their entire WWE career, have they actually ever faced off one-on-one in an actual match?
I don't think so.
I don't think they did. No. They both won their first major singles titles on the same night, TLC 09.
That's a good show.
Yep, McIntyre.
I want to say they might have, but I think it was a real while back. But I'm not really too sure. But
I'd have to look that up or something. But it's okay.
Yeah.
Regardless, I'm like that. Honestly, here's like a lot of people would say this would not be a good WrestleMania match. I'm like, fuck yeah, it would, because it's freaking almost equally matched. That's what you need. Not to mention they have a great story that they can tell.
Exactly.
Pretty much, of course, that'll change by the course of the end of the night, which we'll get to in a moment. Anyways, AJ Styles eliminated.
They have faced off against each other back in 2012.
Okay, there we go.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's a shame they weren't on the top of their game. Well, Sheamus was, but not McIntyre.
And Edge has faced Drew McIntyre back in 2010.
Well, wow. Yeah, I remember. Edge and McIntyre faced out before. Yep. So, AJ Styles had a phenomenal forearm on Sheamus to eliminate him. But what I like was how McIntyre won the match. Styles went for the phenomenal forearm and then got a Claymore in midair.
Midair, dude. That was crazy. That's some 2K stuff right there.
Dude, like, that was just so sick. I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Drew McIntyre successfully retained and became once again one of very few people to have ever retained the title inside the chamber. Actually, do you guys want to know a fun fact? We mentioned Daniel Bryan earlier. Daniel Bryan's the only guy in Elimination Chamber history to retain a title in 2 chamber matches.
Yeah, baby.
Nobody else has done it twice. World Heavyweight title in 2012 and WWE title in 2019.
And
shows that Daniel Bryan's a pretty good competitor, and he's done a lot of historic things, so I don't understand the big deal about him having yet another big WrestleMania moment that will be nowhere near what happened at WrestleMania 30. Or 31. Or 31. Or 34. None of them.
Nah.
But, yeah, McIntyre retained, and before we get to what happened after the main event, I'll ask Willie, what was your thoughts overall on the main event?
Very violent. Like, very, very violent. Man, especially with Sheamus. Oh my gosh. This dude went in there and ripped everybody apart. I love the the opening of the match, not the match, just everyone entered the chamber and entered their pods and all that. I liked how who went up to Drew McIntyre's pod? Was it AJ? Who went up to Sheamus, Drew McIntyre's pod, and he literally headbutted the freaking he headbutted the pod. Who was it?
That was Sheamus.
Sheamus, okay. Looks like this dude freaking headbutted the freaking pod, and I'm freaking like, dude, he's pissed off. Don't piss him off even more. Everything was so well, almost breaking AJ out of his pod was hilarious. I liked that. I liked how just some of the Claymore of midair was great. Orton being eliminated first, my jaw dropped. So I was thinking to myself, where's the Fiend? I think they're prolonging the Fiend's return. They want us to be very, very shocked when he returns. They're slowly building it up. So yeah, give them credit for that. I think the Fiend's gonna return with a new look. So as he should.
And after seeing Randy Orton vomiting that black goo or whatever the hell that was, I think they're actually doing really good for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I give them credit, man. McIntyre retained. I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised. I wanted Sheamus to win, obviously, but didn't happen. I was fine with McIntyre retaining. So, good match. Really good match. I really enjoyed it. Probably one of the more It was good. As for chamber matches, I wouldn't. Was it the most violent? No, but it was really good. Jeff Hardy doing his shtick. He did Whisper in the Wind off the freaking pod, which is great. It was just great, man. Just overall, very fun match. Kobe Kingston did his shtick, and just a great match in my opinion. Well done. Really enjoyed it.
And Ryster Ryan, what was your thoughts on the main event?
Oh my gosh, it was incredible. Man, there was so many epic moves and everything. My favorite spot was where McIntyre did a Claymore, like mid-air Claymore to AJ Styles. Like, that was just absolutely insane. And, even AJ Styles, like, the Phenomenal Forearm was pretty dope. Jeff Hardy had some really cool moves in there. But, yeah, I mean, all around, like, from start to finish, this match was just absolutely insane. And then, of course, we'll get to the other part here in a second. But, like, this was my favorite match of the night, no doubt. Like, oh my gosh, it was fantastic. Drew McIntyre, heck of a performance. Got to give him credit. But really, I think this was really almost anybody's game. But I think it was kind of predictable. But I got to tip my hat off. Everybody did fantastic. So I just loved it. I loved it. I really felt like it should have just been Sheamus and McIntyre, the one-on-one match. But I'll take the Elimination Chamber because these guys did great. And that's one thing I love about Elimination Chamber. It's not my favorite pay-per-view, but that's what I love about the Elimination Chamber, because you get matches like these. Like, it's cool. Like, maybe it is predictable, but like, I'll give you an example. Like, Elimination Chamber 2019, the WWE Championship match.
Yeah, you were there. You were there, man.
Thought they could. Yeah, like, everybody was cheering for Kofi. Yep. Like, I almost kind of thought Kofi was going to win for a sec, but that's the whole thing. And it could even build up a wrestler character, Like, that's the whole great thing about Elimination Chamber. You just never know. You never know.
Yep.
So, tip my hat off to those guys.
Great match indeed. And, of course, we're ready to finally talk about this. The big thing that happened at the end of the main event. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a cash-in, an attack. First, an attack from Bobby Lashley on the champion Drew McIntyre. Ain't that right, Willie?
Correct.
And then we heard the theme. Awesome.
Correct.
And then ring the bell. Ding, ding, ding. The match is official. The DDT. The kick out.
Correct.
And then the Skull Crusher finale. 1, 2, 3. We have a new WWE champion, The Miz.
Correct.
And that makes The Miz the first ever 2-time Grand Slam champion in WWE history.
Yep.
Correct.
Whoa.
That's impressive.
Man, like,
I can't believe nobody else has actually done it twice. Nobody?
Nobody. Like, how is that even? I don't know how.
And folks, for those who are listening to this podcast, how that works is, here's the thing. In order to be a one-time Grand Slam champ, you need to have won the WWE title, the Intercontinental title, the US title, and a tag title at least once. But if you do it 2 times with each one of them, then you're a 2-time Grand Slam champ. At least 2.
Yep. Got to complete the cycle. And I saw there was quite a few comments that said, "Oh, but The Miz, he's never won the Universal Championship."
That doesn't count because even the World Heavyweight Championship doesn't count either.
Exactly.
Otherwise, Jeff Hardy would be a multiple-time Grand Slam champion. Actually, wait, no, he won because he won the United States title once. But otherwise, other people would have done it.
Yeah, exactly.
Then somebody told me, what about Edge? I'm like, 1-time U.S. champ. Sorry.
I think Seth Rollins is possibly could be close, but I think he's still a few titles off.
Let's see. Seth has only been a 1-time United States champion.
Yeah.
It seems like it always goes back to the United States Championship. Only once,
And then he was, let's see, a Universal Championship. That don't count, right?
Nope, just the WWE
Okay,
Championship.
so
But even
WWE title, that was once, and then...
Actually, no, he's a 2-time WWE champ. He won at Money in the Bank 2016, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's
he only
right.
held on to it for
And
like
then,
2 minutes.
What about the tag titles?
He's a multiple-time tag champs with many different partners, so yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It doesn't matter which title. It doesn't matter which one.
So Rollins could be up next.
Yeah,
so
if he wins
see.
the United States title again, then yes, he will be next. It seems like there's a lot of people who are close, but they just haven't gotten it done. The Miz, 8-time tag champ, 8-time Intercontinental champ, 2-time U.S. champ, and now 2-time WWE champ.
That's insane. You gotta give man credit.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Yeah.
The one thing you gotta give credit for the Miz for is this guy's been here for 16 freaking years. And has been here every single week. I see he posted in like that Talking Spectrum in 2016. He's here week in and week out. And even when people are not respecting him and everything, he continues to show why he has a lot of dedication to the business. He made the freaking Intercontinental Championship relevant.
Exactly.
That's why I say he's the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Fuck Chris Jericho. I mean, all he has is he's had it 9 times, but he's hardly held on to them.
Yeah.
He won them and then he lost them.
He made the title prestigious. You gotta give him credit with what Miz has done.
The Miz, oh my god, it was absolutely insane. I wouldn't have. Here's the thing: he was Intercontinental Champion a majority from WrestleMania 32 all the way up to WrestleMania 34.
That's a crazy feat to accomplish right there. Yeah, credit. Speaking of Intercontinental Champion, like his robbery with Dolph Ziggler back in 2016 was just insane, man. Like, that made sense, in my opinion.
The only part that's a shame though about this is, personal opinion, The Miz should have been WWE Champion in 2018 when he had his big feud with Daniel Bryan.
Facts. I don't know why they didn't pull the trigger. I do not know why.
That was the perfect time to do it. And when they had Miz and Daniel Bryan face off for the Super Showdown in a WWE Title #1 Contenders match, I'm like, holy shit, they're actually going to do it. But then Bryan won in 3 minutes, and it was out of nowhere, and it had no reaction from the crowd.
Yeah. Like, and if there's one thing that I could change about WWE in 2018 was The Miz winning the Money in the Bank that year. Because that would have been a perfect opportunity. And, like, Braun Strowman winning it and then failing his cash-in, like, that was just absolutely pointless.
Yeah. It was pointless.
I still don't agree with him being handed the briefcase back because that was completely stupid. That's just me.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
The circumstances of Miz's cash-in this time is the fact that we're, like, less than 2 months away from WrestleMania, and, fact of the matter is we got Drew McIntyre in the mix, we got Sheamus in the mix, we got Bobby Lashley now in the mix, and now The Miz is in the mix.
Yep. That's so many people in the mix.
So, let me just kind of bring something up, like Willie, that you mentioned, but
yeah.
So, okay, obviously we know that The Miz cashed in at TLC. So was that an official cash-in or what?
Well,
because I know they gave it back, and I was like really confused.
Well, John Morrison was the one who cashed it in, not The Miz. They basically,
didn't Paul Heyman cash in for Brock Lesnar back in 2019, or was that Lesnar who cashed in?
It was Heyman that did it.
Then how come Brock wasn't strict? I'm so confused.
Yeah, they've had a lot of hypocrisy when it comes to the Money in the Bank briefcase, but
this doesn't make sense. Then in hindsight, if you really think about it, Brock should have been given his briefcase back because that didn't make Brock. Steven should have been stripped of his briefcase if that's the case.
Yeah,
because that doesn't make any sense.
And not just that, also like the fact of the matter is when you see The Miz posing as the new WWE champion at the Chamber, I'm like, it's crazy to think this briefcase started with Otis. All because AJ Styles had Butterfingers. Who would have thought that AJ Styles having Butterfingers would end up leading to The Miz becoming WWE champion?
It's just like, that's brings up another point here I want to talk about. Y'all remember when Carmella won the inaugural Money in the Bank briefcase, right? And this was obviously James Ellsworth. Daniel Bryan stripped her of it. Why didn't, if Carmella was stripped of her briefcase, how come you didn't strip, like, The Miz? You didn't strip, like, that doesn't make any sense.
Different circumstance. James Ellsworth was not a participant in the match.
But neither was Paul Heyman.
Brock Lesnar, yes, was a participant. He was the replacement of Sami Zayn.
True. Okay, now it makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense now.
The fact of the matter is, like, Lesnar just didn't make his. Here's the thing: Lesnar, when the match began, Lesnar was officially in the match. He just didn't show up until the last minute, but he was officially in.
True. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I was going to say, wait a minute.
Yeah, the whole thing with Carmella and James Ellsworth. James was not a participant in the match. He just unhooked it himself and dropped it. And the situation with Otis, AJ Styles was a competitor. He unhooked it, but he did not hang on to it. It all goes back to the football reference I made. It doesn't matter who caught it, who had it first. What matters is who caught it.
Exactly.
If it was in your fingers, but then it slipped out of your fingers, it doesn't count. What matters is the person who first catches the ball gains possession. Same thing can be said for that briefcase.
Yeah.
If you don't have a clear grip, there you go. But yeah, Miz, he's joined the list. The people like the Edge and CM Punk as the only guy to successfully cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase twice.
What a feat right there, man. It's crazy.
Yep. But yeah, congrats to The Miz. The unfortunate circumstance is that I know he ain't going to hold on to it for very long. I don't think he's going to be champion at WrestleMania. But it was a great moment to see him win the title again because I'm like, he did it again. He did it once in 2010. Now he's here 2021. Congratulations. He did it.
They gave me flashbacks to New Year's Revolution in 2006 when Edge cashed in.
After a chamber match, yep.
I was like, wait a minute, this is just like what Edge does. Like,
yeah, the first ever cash in happened after a chamber match, and the most recent cash in happened after a chamber match.
I know, right?
Yep, so it was really cool. Without a doubt, this was the most confusing Money in the Bank briefcase cash in. Like, actually, the entire thing from 2020 up to now was one of the most confusing because we had the whole thing with Otis, and we didn't know what was going on with that. Otis lost the briefcase to Miz. Miz tried cashing in several times, did it at TLC, got reversed because Morrison wasn't the one who cashed it in. Morrison was the one who cashed it in. And then now, at Chamber, boom, he finally did it. And like so many twists and turns happen.
Which is amazing.
Well, of course, when it comes to Money in the Bank cash-in, so of course remember Dolph Ziggler in 2013. By the time he cashed in, he hardly had a briefcase at all because of how beat up it was.
That was I still go back and watch that moment every time. Like, that was probably my favorite cash-in. Like, I love Seth Rollins cash-in, but when Dolph Ziggler did it, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I think it was the crowd that made me hyped. I knew Rollins was going to cash in. Like, I was like, the second when this match happened, I was like, he's cashing in. So when Dolph Ziggler cashed in, I was like, oh my God. Plus, I freaking despised Alberto Del Rio, so I was happy with the title getting off him and putting on Dolph Ziggler. Who, by the way, should be used better. Dolph Ziggler was amazing.
Yep. So, I'm going to go through each one. Ryan, what did you think about The Miz cashing in and becoming WWE champion?
I was happy. I was really happy. I think, honestly, and many people may disagree, but I think Miz has deserved the WWE Championship for quite a while. I really always wanted to see him do a second run. I know his first run wasn't great, but I think compared to back then in 2010 to you look at the Miz now and like a few years back, when he was making the Intercontinental title prestigious and everything, I think he definitely deserved it. And the promos that he cut during that time were absolutely incredible. No doubt, Miz is one of the best on the mic, and I think he does deserve it. So even if it's just a short reign, I honestly don't care. I'm happy to see the Miz become a two-time WWE champion. So, and yeah, like I said, I think he's been very underrated, but yeah, I'm happy for him. I'm happy. And the promo that he cut afterwards, the crying, just being goofy and everything, like that was just absolutely hilarious. And it's just funny because I know people people are gonna say like I saw comments saying that like, oh, the Miz, he's worst champion, terrible choice. But here's the thing. You people complained for the longest time that the Money in the Bank contract was not being used right, that they should get rid of it because no one cashes in successfully. So, and then the Miz finally cashes in, there's a successful cash in, and then there's still people complaining about it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. I love Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
But, I'm happy for the Miz, too.
Yeah.
I'm happy for the Miz.
Yeah.
So, I mean, here's my thing. I think whether or not, like, you hate the Miz or you like the Miz, even Angry Miz Girl, she was happy for the Miz. You look back, when she was mad, like, the first time he cashed in, and, like, now she's pretty much a fan. So, that's awesome. And I was even kind of the same way, because his first cash in, like, I hate it. I was not a fan of the Miz. Now, I kind of, like, basically turn into a fan of him. I really do like the guy.
Yeah, the time,
he's a cool guy, real cool guy in person.
Yeah, the time when the Miz won the title in 2010, I was honestly under the impression that he wasn't ready to be the WWE champion at the time. He just wasn't ready for that, and the title reign he had was lackluster. While he had a small feud with the guy he cashed in on, Randy Orton, main event with John Cena, but majority of his time was defending against Jerry the King Lawler.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, but
So yeah, that's the whole thing, and that's what I was saying. Like, you take a look back at the Miz 2010, 2011, and you take a look at him now, or 2016, 2017. Let's say that the Miz was a whole lot better 2016, 2017 than he was 2010, 2011.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: when they did the Miz's face turn angle in 2013, up to 2014, it just didn't really click with me. I'm like, the Miz is not a believable good guy at all.
Yeah, he's just a natural heel.
Yeah, like I'll be honest, like the Miz is the type of guy where you could give him all the hate in the world and he doesn't care. Proven by those mock crying videos he made after he won the title, because that shows he doesn't care. He's like, get used to it. I'm champion. Ha 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 ha. I'm better than you. You're not.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
The Miz, that's why I have a lot of respect for him. Like for all 15 years, the dedication he put into this business, the dedication he put to everything he done, every rivalry he was in. 2016 up to 2018 were the best years of the Miz when he was Intercontinental champion. But the other thing I liked, remember this, guys, in 2017 when he is the Intercontinental champion, they were doing the whole Roman Reigns versus John Cena thing at No Mercy, and he cuts a hell of a promo saying, how come your star Intercontinental champion is not even mentioned for the card, and yet you got these two guys over here who's going to face each other, and the crowd could care less.
Exactly, yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's
why I'm like, the Miz, he really knew his shit. I'm like, this was absolutely fantastic. And even when he lost to John Cena and Nikki Bella at WrestleMania 33, I'm like, that did not honestly stop his momentum, because the following SmackDown, he was still out there with Maurice.
Yeah.
It's as if the loss didn't even affect him.
Yeah, that was what I really liked about the Miz, because even when he lost, he still kept going.
I am John Cena.
I kind of feel like. Go ahead.
I am John Cena. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, house rule number 999.
Yeah. That's why, like, the Miz.
House rule number 1000.
I remember when we first heard about the whole Cena, Nikki Bella versus Miz and Maurice match, we had almost no interest. But when we watched the promos, we were like, wait, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When you see something that on paper, it looks bad. On paper, it looks bad. But when you watch it, you're like, actually, this looks good. Let them freaking work and make it worth watching. That's what they did.
It's a show that's called storyline investment, and once you get invested in these characters, especially with John Cena and The Miz, two of the best workers on the mic, that's when we became invested. Especially with that promo that John cut on Miz. You take your time memorizing my house rules, and there's one rule that you don't let. There's one rule that you live by. You want to talk tough, you better be tough, or you a pussy.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep.
Freaking Cena said that on TV. I was like, John, John, there's kids. Right, God dang.
2016, 2017, what a year, WWE. That was awesome.
Take me back. I need a time machine.
Yeah, honestly,
we need to make a.
I really wish I could re-attend WrestleMania 33 in Orlando because one of my favorite things about that was being in Orlando amongst that crowd with all the tailgates, the barbecues, and the beer that they had set up and everything, and all the fun things they were doing. That was honestly the best thing about it. It makes waiting in line worth waiting because you're like, we're waiting in line for the doors to open, so let's actually occupy our time by doing this.
Exactly.
Yeah. I guarantee if the Losers Lounge ever went to WrestleMania, we probably would get there early just so we could hang out and chill.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Anything is possible. But in the meantime, Willie, I'll get your thoughts before we finish up. Your thoughts on The Miz as the new WWE champion.
Man, it was great, dude. I remember being on call with some people, man. Shout out to those people, by the way. Being on call, Miz's music hit. I'm like, I told you guys. I told you. And he cashed in on that. Great. I did a live reaction to it. If you guys haven't seen it already, go check it out and all that. I think Ron did one too, so go check it out if y'all want to. It was a great moment. I enjoyed it. I know people are upset. Drew McIntyre, he's been buried. They buried Drew McIntyre. How dare they? No, they didn't. No. I don't know the word buried.
Yeah, The Miz doesn't bury people. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's funny, guys. I don't know if y'all seen this on Twitter, obviously. Of course, you're on Twitter if you're obviously this, but people are already starting to turn on Drew McIntyre. Again. Why are y'all turning on Drew McIntyre?
Predicted that one, didn't we? Hey, didn't we predict that one? That eventually the fans would turn their back, just like they did on Becky Lynch and Kofi Kingston.
And
you know what's going to happen? I'm predicting this too. I'm predicting this right now. If Edge wins the Universal Championship, people are going to turn on Edge. It's going to happen. Y'all wanted it.
Hey, you brought up Edge. You get it. By the way, this brings up an interesting point. You guys want to know something interesting?
What's up?
Edge could possibly face Roman Reigns, hopefully on night 2. That's April 11th. That's the 10-year anniversary of the day he announced his retirement.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And even Willie and I were talking about this. But just imagine if he does win the Universal Championship, just imagine what if he brings back the World Heavyweight title.
People are thinking about that.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't see it happening because I don't see Edge winning the title at all.
That's what I'm saying too. I don't see Edge winning. I just don't see it. I mean, WrestleMania, we're almost there, but still, I just don't see it happening. I get it. That's the story right there. The feel good moment and all that. And I know you want the fans to go home happy. I made a good storyline on Twitter about what they could do for the main event of WrestleMania when Edge and Roman, go face to face. I'm telling you this right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling this right now, even before WrestleMania. Roman and Edge will main event night 2 of WrestleMania, and Drew McIntyre versus whoever will main event night 1 of WrestleMania. There will be no women main eventing WrestleMania this year. Get that out of your heads right now. That is not happening. Bianca and Sasha's not main eventing, and whoever Asuka's facing, they're not main eventing. I want to get y'all through your heads before y'all start speculating that the women are going to main event at WrestleMania like they did in 2019. Yeah. Not happening. It's not. It's not going to happen. I had to get that out right there. But Edge, that's a little bit of Edge. I'll talk about more about the Miz. Edge, like I said, feel good moment, all that, but you've been building Roman up so much. Why would you have him lose to
Edge?
Exactly. Just no offense to Edge. I love Edge. And that'll be another thing. It goes to what I said about people turning on him. People are going to turn on him if he wins.
Yep.
So I keep telling Roman. Would you rather have, and I know I get it, the fans are returning, Christian said it best. It's WrestleMania, the homecoming, you said? Or was it
I called it the second chance.
The second chance, yeah. I get it. The fans coming back. Great. For 2 nights of WrestleMania, fantastic. It's not like think about this. It's not like all the baby faces are going to win on those 2 nights. You're going to have some heels win. You're not going to put all the baby faces up.
Yeah, we got to get some heels winning in the mix because, like, you can't let. There's going to become moments where even the fans are going to cheer for the bad guys anyway.
Exactly. So that where it comes from, like, Reigns, I just don't understand.
Yeah, Reigns is somebody who I said before, SummerSlam this upcoming year, I could see him still being that same champion. I could still see him retain after that, too. I can see him being champion up to freaking WrestleMania 38, maybe. Which honestly would not. And here's the thing, given his current gimmick, that honestly wouldn't be bad.
Why is that?
I said would not be bad for Roman Reigns to be champion up to like even WrestleMania 2022. It's the way he's operating.
Well, as for The Miz, like you said, guys, I don't see Miz walking into Mania as champion. This was only done for like this is only done for two reasons, in my opinion. One, to get the fans a moment of like shock. Because I don't know if anyone expected Miz to cash in. I kind of thought that was going to happen, but I was thinking to myself, maybe it could happen the night afterwards. But another thing is, like, you got, once again, it goes back to what we were saying a few minutes ago, people wanted a successful cash in, right? Didn't y'all want it? Exactly. Y'all wanted honestly, it, you got it.
Yeah, The Miz, he's going to probably definitely team with Morrison to take on Damian Priest and Bad Bunny.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's going to be fun. I'm telling you right now, Bad Bunny is the best thing going right now. Like, I'm really enjoying him. Like, he's great. Like I said, Miz, yeah, he's just there. He's just there. He's just a body.
Boy, you and I are on separate sides when it comes to Bad Bunny. I think he's one of the worst things going on right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you can't stand him. I'm actually enjoying him. Ryan, what about you? You enjoying him?
Yeah, honestly, I ain't gonna lie, he's kind of grown on me a little bit.
He's like, and just so you folks know, this has nothing to do with the fact that I think rap is stupid. I still think rap is stupid. Get over that. It's nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, okay, I get what's going on here. They reveal that he's actually training to be a wrestler as well. I'm like, if he wants to do that, well, kudos to him. Cool, but he's not exactly there yet. Start putting him in the ring before you put him at WrestleMania. Otherwise, we have another. Hold on. I'm still talking here.
Was that?
No, I'm still talking here. It's like let him like build himself up. Actually, put him in the ring first before you do it at WrestleMania. Otherwise, we got another Snooki match.
Yep.
Oh
my gosh.
Jesus I'm Christ. Sorry, but Snooki, I'm never.
That was 10 years ago. Oh my God.
That's crazy.
Can she never come back? Like, I'm just being very nice when I say that. Can you not come back?
Technically, she's busy with Jersey Shore.
That's still wait, that's still a thing? I thought the show got canceled. I thought the show got canceled or something.
I'm surprised.
Okay.
No, it's still going. It hasn't been canceled.
But anyway, folks, that was our review on the Elimination Chamber, and that was it was a very successful pay-per-view overall, with a lot of great moments to look back on.
I agree.
So, folks, the next time you'll see us is in 3 weeks, when we will be discussing and predicting the events of Fastlane. I think that's actually a good thing that we got the 3-week break, so it'll allow me to relax and recover from the jaw surgery that I'm about to have. But if I'm unable to actually perform on the first podcast, Ryan, I can count on you, man, to get the recording done with Willie.
You got it.
Excellent. Folks, I am still working on content. I'm going to be providing a medical update on myself this upcoming weekend, so be sure to tune into that. Aside from that, though, I think we're good to go. Elimination Chamber, great show. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Ryan, it's good to have you finally back.
Yes, man. Thank you.
Whether it was illness or whether it was the snow hitting your ass.
It was both.
Yeah.
Yeah. You go.
Yeah, the snow. Yeah, it did. It did hit my ass.
Really? You actually had somebody pull your pants down and shove snow up your ass?
Hey, as windy as it was.
Okay.
Just kidding. But yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I think probably the lowest it got here was like -4. I want to say.
Oh wow.
-4. That's it. -4. That's it, dude. That sounds so freaking warm right now. I'm up here in Canada.
I'm telling you, dude. That's like literally a shock in Texas. That's a shock in Texas.
It is. Imagine
It really is.
imagine if Orlando, Florida had -10.
So,
Man, that'd just be wild.
All right, well,
time.
we're pretty much done, folks. So heel Balor, you know what to do.
Yeah, you know what's up, man. So we are the losers, and this is our lounge, and we will see you in 3 weeks. Bye.